Hello, group. Welcome to vlog 3. We have been talking about ethics. Seems like forever now because we had the ethics class this summer and then we were talking about it in class Thursday night. So, first, in honor of ethics, let me apologize for the lateness of my post. I will not even pretend that it had anything to do with technology. I simply forgot that it was my turn to introduce the vlog and be the prompter for the discussion. Anyway, this weekend I've spent time with family and we've spent time watching movies such as The Island and Jurassic Park, and I guess in all of the discussion of ethics, this has colored my watching of these movies. In The Island, you have a situation where the science of genetics has progressed so far that they can actually clone human beings. And so these people who have quite a bit of money contract for a human being to be cloned from their DNA, and that human being is then raised to adulthood for the purpose of harvesting organs and curing them of diseases and other maladies. Ethics comes into play when two of the clones figure out that the schema that they have portrayed to them about going to the island is a lie, and they don't go to an island, they go to a surgical room where they remove these organs and, in effect, kill the clones. So the ethics are raised as to whether the clones are actually humans or whether they are the property of their sponsors. And that's kind of the crux of where the movie rests. In Jurassic Park, it's not so much an ethical dilemma until the dinosaurs kind of get out of hand, but one of my favorite monologues in the movie has always been Dr. Ian Malcolm when he's talking about the creation of the dinosaurs. And he says to John Hammond, who is the owner of the island and the creator of Jurassic Park, the problem with your scientific power is that you're using the problem with the scientific power that you're using here is that it didn't require any discipline to attain it. You read what had been done by others and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge, so you don't take any responsibility for it. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should. And the reason this is one of my favorite quotes is I think that a lot of times we get so excited about human discovery and so excited about things being brought forward that can be done that we get lost in the excitement and we don't think of the ethics of it and we don't think of the power that it can wield later for different things. More and more technology scares me. I use it, I enjoy it, but I think about all the things that can happen with technology because of what we have. When we trade things so that we are more secure, for instance, there are technologies now with smartphones where you can unlock your door from home or lock it. You can turn off the lights. You can set your thermostat. You can do certain things from your smartphones even if you're away from home. The problem with that is that if someone hacks into that system, they then have access to your home as well, and they have access to your alarm systems and things like this. So that brings me to the discussion point for this week's vlog. Larry Niven, who is an author of a book called In Space, it's the letter N and then space, in 1990 wrote, "Ethics change with technology." So I'm curious to know what you think about how ethics may change with technology, with the advent of social media and people posting things on Facebook and LinkedIn and MySpace and all these different social media sites. There has been talk that employers are basically looking at these sites and looking at what people post, looking at their political viewpoints or looking at the things that they like and making employment decisions based on these things. My mother-in-law told us just the other day that she has a clause in her contract about social media and about how much she can post on there about her place of employment and the way they operate, and that if they find out that she's posted things they don't like, she can be terminated. So I want us to think a little bit about how the ethical landscape may change or um, may evolve based on these technologies and how these technologies are being used. And as educators, how much are we responsible for what is out there and what our students gain access to? How has our ethical landscape changed in terms of the freedom that we have to post certain things or ascribe to certain beliefs openly in the arena that our students can find? Um, the last little quote that I want to leave with you is H.L. Mencken is an author. He wrote in the 1900s. And one of the things he said about conscience is that it's the inner voice that warns us that somebody may be looking. So, in addition to talking about how the ethical landscape has changed as a result of technology, um, social media sites make us a lot more visible to people. And there's been a lot of discussion about your Facebook self in comparison with your real self and what you portray on the internet versus who you are in reality. And so I want to know how much of that um, plays a part in the fact that conscience has a lot to do with how we think other people view us. I've heard it said character is who you are when no one is looking, which is very similar to the H.L. Mencken quote. Um, so my two questions, I guess, to put them succinctly, is how have the ethical landscapes changed in the advent of social media, and how conscious are we of that based on other people's view of us as people versus our own desires and um, ways that we would do things if we didn't think other people were watching? So I hope that gives you a good amount of fodder for discussion, and I look forward to seeing your posts.